Click that link. That's going to be a big mistake. Why don't you just throw your money in the toilet? If you're going to click on a link and if you want to watch the video and you want to learn something about cryptocurrency, go to Believes.
Let's get it. I'm trying to put money in your pocket. That crypto wallet. That bing bada bing ching ching big profit. Even when the market's sideways, I'm looking for ways to get paid. I'm checking my coins around breakfast, then again around bedtime. Bet this, it's not financial advice, but I'm always right. 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 Lady, and I got my shine. Money in my pocket, and we're feeling fine. Radio's loud, and we're playing Sublime. I think it's gonna be a good day, my oh my. I can't believe I made it this far, it's a miracle. Floating in the clouds now, used to be miserable. Never looking back since I changed my ways. I'm on that good life tip today. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world, I wanna be shining like diamonds and pearls. I want you to go there with me, girl. I'm looking for the good life, good life. Baby, we can have it all. We can make love by the waterfalls. I'm living that good life after all. La da da da, good life, sitting by the fire. La da day, good life, feeling that breeze.
What is going on, everybody? I hope that you are having a great morning. My name is Believes. It is Friday morning, Friday, as some people call it. We are about to finish off our week, and we're going to get to the weekend. And hopefully for that weekend, we're going to see at least a little bit of a pump in the market. We're going to see at least a little bit. I know what I'm going to get for the weekend. You know what I'm getting for the weekend? New Vaulted Believer hoodie, beanies. So for the next little while, I'm going to be getting these. So if you are Volt Army, put your lightning bolts into the chat. And this is going to be a giveaway. It's not going to be members only. If you haven't already, though, become a member of the channel. It certainly helps me out tremendously. Got to pay the bills, so to speak. But we're going to do some Vaulted Believer giveaways. I just spoke to Voltoshi a little while ago. We're also going to organize. We're going to give away not just the beanies, but we're also going to give away some Volt tokens to the winners as well. There's more to that announcement when I actually get these things. I'm picking them up this weekend. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell to be notified of future content so that you know when we're coming on. It's 8 and 8 every day, Central Standard Time. There won't be one at 8 p.m. on Friday nights. So let's get into what is going on in the market. Gary Gensler is he's attacking the crypto market. Congress is not happy with it. You're going to start to see some fallout from this in short order because he's not going to be unchecked for very long. It's one of those situations in which look, Gary Gensler is just in a situation in which he has a certain belief set, and that's fine. He's got a belief set where he wants to think that he's protecting people, right? Now, let's operate under that premise for just a second. He absolutely, utterly failed you when it came to FTX. He was compromised by his nephew? Because they weren't paying attention. They weren't looking. Now, what happened is, and just consider this for a second. What happened when FTX collapsed? Gary Gensler started attacking all of Sam Bankman-Fried's competitors, like Kraken. So, consider at least that Gary Gensler is compromised, that he owes the Bankmans and the Frieds, and that he is a bad actor. And Congress is starting to see what's going on, right? So let's at least consider that. And by the way, if you subscribed here because you saw my ad on Rodney's channel, I did pick up, by the way, overnight, like 112 new subscribers because I am running the ad. So I appreciate you. If you're one of those people who've tuned in, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for tuning in. I hope that I entertain you enough to keep you coming back for more. In the meantime, good morning, Richard. What is going on? Good morning, Richard the Dose. Daniel Volt, what is going on? Ryo in the house. Mr. P Crypto, good morning. David Wright, good morning. Beaver Lumber in the house. Tom Collide, Volt needs Viagra. Jeff T, good morning. Family Z, tell Stacy we said hi. Design DNA in the house. Ollie is in the house. The NGN network is flying again, by the way. So is BRL, both having good corrections to the upside as the market starts to dip. Rajan, what is going on? Nate B in the house. Lorenzo, what is going on? Jay Manuel in the house. Kamal, Ben Ferrers here. Zicko, Richard Goodall, Dangerous Crypto in the house. One Life, No Regrets. Get you a bag of Volt Inu. Truer words could not be said. JT is here. Ellis Jackson in the house. Eric is here. Kenneth Dimitri. Crypto Chronic. Dopey Dude. Eastside Charlie. Jason Crow says hello. We are traveling today. Tell Jason I said hello. By the way, if you haven't already, actor Jason Crow, go give him a follow on Twitter. He's the guy that kills me in the Volt movie. I know we haven't seen a trailer for it. We'll see a trailer. He's talked to the producers. We'll get that at some point pretty soon. But also, if you haven't, go to TikTok and follow actor Jason Crow. He does dad jokes every single day. It's hilarious. And it's a good time. If you need a laugh every day, it's a perfect place. Tony P and BRL are in the house. What is going on, my man? So let's break down a whole bunch of things that have been happening. Look, we're just going to kind of revisit the market. I want to get into charts because there's a lot going on with the charts, and you need to see this to have an understanding that I think we are about to explode, that the crypto market is set for just a gigantic run. And I know a lot of people are nervous. And why are you nervous? Because Gary Gensler attacked crypto. But look at his face, not with both eyes. One eye does whatever it wants to do, like Marty Feldman. I don't know if you all are old enough to know who Marty Feldman is, but if you've ever seen Young Frankenstein, he was Igor. And when you look at Igor and you look at that, don't you see Gary Gensler? Because if you don't, you're not looking right, right? There's just me. Might just be me. What's up, Jason Crow? All right, so let's get into the chart. Let's see where everything is, right? Also, I'll be making changes to some of the layouts on this in the next couple of days as well. So Dow futures are declined. They were down like almost 200 points a little bit earlier, down 97, 17, and 85 right now. There was some news that said that the futures had fallen ahead of the survey, the inflation survey data. Well, we go over here and we can look at the survey data. Let's refresh it. We haven't gotten it yet. I've got another hour before we're going to get the Michigan consumer sentiment. It's the inflation data. The forecast is 65, and last time it was at 64.9. So we'll see what happens there. But as you can see, the market's down a little bit, but we don't know how it's going to react. We do know that the bears are feeling it right now. The bears are trying to take their victory lap, maybe prematurely. Who knows? Look, crypto is still up on the year over 30%, and these dingbats are taking a victory lap because they got 5%. You know what I'm saying? Like you really have to put it into perspective. Now, that being said, we also have to be aware of, Jesus Christ, look at the liquidations that happened yesterday. 254 million in longs liquidated. And then 24 in shorts were liquidated. So hopefully we're going to have a better day today. But that's an enormous, and I mean enormous amount of liquidation over that period of time. Not looking good. But we're going to talk about that because it's kind of getting crazy. All right, so headed to Atlanta to have some special effects made for Project X's zombie movie. The name of the movie, by the way, is Zombie, I think, and I do believe that Lilith from the card collection, this was one of her passion projects, and so I don't know if she's the director, but I assume the producer, and that this was one of the things that she was very passionate about, along with Jason. I think Jason helped to contribute to writing the script to this many moons ago. They did have an AMA. If you haven't seen it already, go look up actor Jason Crow. There is, I think her name is Ronnie Jonah, if I got that right. and you can go watch the interview. I think they have a nice long interview. There you go. It's called The Zombie Movie. So go check that out if you haven't already. Now, back into crypto, minus 4% on Bitcoin, minus 6% on Bitcoin. Look, some of the stuff is up a little bit. Some of it's corrected. Now, look, there's going to be moments when these things start to take off again. So find yourself somewhere to get situated. Man, I get this feeling that this thing is like we're sitting on what might amount to a powder keg, right? That's going to flip at any moment. By the way, Bitcoin market cap is at 420 for all you potheads. So yeah, there's that. So now let's get into the news. Let's get through this because we're going to talk about this chart right here because it's actually crazy how almost prophetic it is at this point. Now, number one, Bitcoin declined below 22,000 as Coinbase deposits rise. Now, what does that mean when Coinbase deposits rise? Well, it means people are putting their money into the exchange because they're looking to sell. So if you're wondering what's going on at the time, it's trading at 21,800 right now, trading at 21,800. So we've been at this spot for a few hours. Yeah, it looks like we're at a few hours. We're kind of holding. And by the way, this is an important support line for anybody who is curious. And the reason that it's an important support line is because this red line is right here where FTX collapsed. So it is important that crypto holds that line. It's not going to be life. Look, it's not going to be. It's not the end of crypto if it doesn't hold it. But it is an important mental gymnastic thing right here. We really want to hold above this line so that the rally can continue above FTX, because the longer we hold above here, the less we're going to have to in the future talk about this moment in time. Now, the other thing is, when you were down here, did you feel despair? I mean, that's the question that you have to ask, because that's the final stage of this market. Did you feel despair? And there's a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, that really felt the despair during this period of time in this market. So was it enough? That becomes the question. And based on most of the economic indicators and most of the economic data, it was enough, right? So I get this feeling that we're going to head up very, very quickly. There's something going on. We don't have all the data. We're not in place. And by the way, let me just say that, when in doubt, zoom out becomes a thing, right? So if we look at the size of the candle over here, we've seen much bigger sell-off candles, much bigger sell for no reason. Sometimes we've seen much bigger sell-off candles. So don't get too into the moment right here about what happened, because and by the way, this is it was not a great sign to see that the wick did not happen down here, right? We didn't see a giant wick form, so we're not in a positive flow at this point. Remember, when we got this wick up here, we got this huge wick on the top of this, and then the next thing you know, we're headed down, right? So it would be very nice to see a nice wick form down here on a candle to show that we're on the way back up. But I mean, we'll see what happens. So anyway, let's move on from this one and go to the Bitcoin. Bitcoin has hit bottom. At least that's what Pantera Capital and Osprey Funds chiefs say. And Pantera Capital, gigantic company. They are, I think they're located in South Korea. But Pantera Capital, Osprey Funds, they're all saying that we've reached the bottom. So we don't need to get into that too much. At least just figure out, look, we're in the bottom, right? Now, Kraken to shut U.S. crypto staking services, paid $30 million fine in SEC settlement. Now, here's a question. You might be asking yourself, what did Kraken do? And Kraken is guilty. Kraken is guilty of being small enough that the fight is not worth it. That's all. Because Gary Gensler, one of his eyes saw Coinbase. His other eye saw Kraken, and he said, well, I'm a bully, and I got to pick on the smaller guy. So what he's trying to do is he was trying to use and leverage Kraken to create and make a statement. So he went for the easy one. And it's entirely possible that Kraken is part of it. They're in on it. When he says, hey, listen, this is what's going on. This is what we need. We're going to need your compromise. If we don't get it, we're coming after you really hard. So we're going to need you to sit there, shut up, and take it. And we'll give you a discount on something, or we'll give you look, whatever it is that Gary Gensler does, both of his eyes have to follow him, right? So, I mean, we'll assume both of his eyes have to follow him because they don't always when he's looking. So who really knows? But it does appear that they went after Kraken because Kraken was an easy mark. They didn't go after crypto.com. They didn't go after Coinbase. They didn't go after Binance because they would have taken them all the way to the Supreme Court, and they would have made Gary Gensler and at least one of his eyes look. I'm just assuming that one of his eyes is always looking ahead. That they would have taken him to the Supreme Court, and he would not have. Look, this is a land of liberty, right? This is a land with libertarian principles founded on the ideology of small government and less intrusion into your life. And is it really for your protection? And they're going to actually look at, well, is this for your protection? And the government in America right now, at least the Supreme Court, is very Republican and very conservative. They are not likely to try to add new rules, regulations, and controls over the will of the people. So he does not want this going to the Supreme Court. Just think about this logically, right? There's no chance that he wins if he goes to the Supreme Court. So that's why he's setting this precedent right here so that he can then later come back and say, well, yeah, I mean, we already did that here. And one of his eyes like, why is that girl looking at you? And then the other eye is going to be like, look ahead, dude. You know what I mean? That means you know what I'm talking about. You get it. Gary Gensler. Anyway, so that's why he was attacking. So we can also recognize $70 billion was lost in the crypto markets as the SEC cracks down. Now, here is the other part to that. That is an opportunity. That's a massive opportunity for a buy-in. So let's operate under some kind of assumption here that, and by the way, if you haven't already, hit the like button, please. That helps me trend, that helps more people come in here, and it certainly helps me to continue to do the show. Again, if you haven't already, become a member of the channel. That really helps. But $70 billion gone from the crypto markets as the SEC cracks down on central exchanges, or sexes, as Donald Trump calls them, and you're going to see that pretty soon. By the way, because I did, if you have, oh God, I can't tell you, but I did partner with somebody today, yesterday, that's going to do something that's just absolutely amazing. And you know, when it happens, when it comes out and you look at it, you're gonna be like, oh my God, you know, Bleeves really needs, Bleeves really got issues. And I'm gonna be like, yes, I really do have issues. And you can see it by the things that I do. Do I spend my money wisely? No, I do not. So, so we're down $70 billion. But again, great opportunity to come in. The question is, are we at the bottom yet? And if we're not, then, you know, obviously what you want to do is you want to DCA. You want to buy a little bit. You want to see where it goes. If it goes down, you want to buy a little bit more. If it goes down some more, you want to buy a little bit more. Then you want to go back around on the upside and take your profits as you need to. Now, moving on. Who will be the winners in the SEC staking clampdown? Now, blah, 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 blah. Right here. The community considers clampdown on centralized exchanges as a win for DeFi. DeFi is the place, and that's where we are, guys. That's our neck of the woods. So what's happening over here? You're seeing DeFi start to get a little recognition. Oh, and look right here, we're down. DeFi is down on the day. So DeFi did get affected by this, right? But I bet that as this day starts to progress a little bit, I bet that we come storming back. And you can see, by the way, Bitcoin is now up on the day, minting a green candle. Ethereum, not so lucky, not so fortunate, but Crow has recovered. SHIB has recovered up 2.5%. Lunk down up 1.5%. So you're starting to see some recovery in the market. Decanect is up 9%. Matic is up 5%. Mina Protocol is up 20%. So you're starting to see, like, people realize there was a dip and people are buying the shit out of this dip, right? Mina Protocol yesterday, when the collapse started, was trading at 95 cents. It's trading at 89 cents. So are people moved by this? Yes. But are they going to stay moved by it? I don't think that the answer is, I think we're already seeing that there's a reversal happening right now I don't know how big this green candle ends up, but I mean, again, we gotta. Where were we at yesterday when all of this shit started to go down? Thursday, 9, 10, right here. So 22,500 is basically our kind of, let's just do a ray on that one and say that that's our point right there where we want to see it go over that, right? To show that we've gone back the right direction, right? So we want to see that. So there we are. We've got our little pivot right there. So we'll see if we pump over that, then all bets are off. Like this market rally is going to continue, and we're seeing capital start to re-enter the market. Now, every time we see it re-enter the market, it is getting sold back down because, again, bears are in control. The support for bulls is very soft at this moment. But as the bulls continue to push and continue to push and continue to push, there's going to be moments where you're going to start seeing it's not going to continue that way. You can see here, it's already moving in the upward fashion. So we're already in a position where this market is ready for a quick recovery. Now, we're only looking at the hour chart, but we do have 8 hours of green candles over here on the MACD money flows. So, if that keeps going, then we're going to see a little bit of a rally. Now, we do have some moments, 976 right here. We're going to have probably 983 right here. We're going to have a lot right here, a lot right around here. So there's plenty of different levels that we're going to have to just kind of bust through. You know what I mean? So we're not out of the woods, but we're making progress, and hopefully we continue to make progress as this day goes and start to reclaim some of the money lost. Again, some of the money lost. We still want that position right there. We want the position. Where was Ethereum during that part? Let's drop a pivot on that one right there. So we want that one to pop over as well. Now, Ethereum is moving a little bit slower than Bitcoin, so we might not see that one happen as quickly. Now, what else do we have up here? We have analyst predicts new all-time high for one Ethereum-based altcoin. I don't know much about this thing, but I wanted to point this out to you because I mean, this is an opportunity for like 100% flip. If it were to play out, I'm going to put something on it. But it's called Mask. It says a popular crypto analyst says one under the radar ETH-based altcoin is about to go on a massive run. The pseudonymous analyst Smart Contractor tells his 220,000 Twitter followers that Mask is setting up for a surge following a correction after forming a three-wave pattern labeled as the ABC wave of the Elliott wave theory. He predicts Mask will climb to 650 later this month. And you can see that he's talking about this wedge sort of pattern playing out, and it's trading right now at $3.48, and he's saying that this thing could probably go to 650. So I mean, it's worth at least looking at, if not making the investment. Excuse me. It's worth at least looking at and putting this down on your calendar and going to ask yourself in a month, was this guy right? And if this guy was right, give this guy a follow, because he obviously knows what the hell he's talking about. And he's seeing whatever it is kind of play out. However, he also says, Smart Contract says Ethereum is forming a horizontal triangle that may break to the upside. Final leg up, and to end an almost 4-week of chop on ETH would be resolving soon. My bias is up, however. My only concern is Bitcoin's structure looks completely different. Now, the reason that they look different is because Ethereum has Shanghai coming. So Ethereum is worth 1,554 at the time of writing. So this is after all of this collapse and all of this downward pressure here. This is like right in this area right here. So he's writing this article over the last couple of hours as he's looking at what's going on, saying, you know what, this actually structurally looks like it's going to break to the upside. And Jesus Christ, why am I? Yeah, I'm on ETH. Okay, so, I can't believe I just did that. God damn it. Repeat. There we go. All right, so and we're going to take this off, by the way. That was hilarious because I'm super funny and completely awesome. But let's move on from that. And, we're looking at this structure here. And let's come over here and say, if we assume that, and we assume that, then we also have to assume that where the settling is more important. So yeah, we're looking at a way different chart, but we're still looking at a positive chart coming off of this. Now, I mean, what does it end up meaning? And you know what? Let's go with this and let's go with this. And maybe we're seeing something a little bit different as it starts to play out. So as we zoom in, you can see here, it's a little bit wide. And there's a lot of hostility over here because you can see all of these big wicks on and on, just like up and down. Ethereum is just really radically trading right now. So, but the channel, I mean, I guess this channel is probably going to look consistent. So if you're in right here, maybe you got to run up here to 1690 in the next couple of days, maybe. Or maybe we get on a nice little positive run. We'll see what happens, but it does kind of look like it. Richard Caldwell, does that mean a huge pump? Actually, I'm going to show you exactly what it means very shortly, because that's actually one of the next things that we're getting into. So we're going to close that out. Dow futures have fallen ahead of the inflation survey. We're not going to know the numbers to that until 9 o'clock. So now let's get into what Richard just said. So here we are. We got the golden cross. This is the golden cross. And what immediately happened is a dump. Now, what's the dump percentage? Well, the dump went from right here to here, 5.8% roughly, right? So let's call it 6%. So now we have to ask the question, well, what happened? Well, let's go back and let's look at golden crosses from forever. Now that's the death cross. Here's the golden cross. So the golden cross, the last golden cross that we got in crypto was September 14 of 2021. Now, what happened at that point? We got the golden cross, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 days later, we absolutely bottomed. Just absolutely went crazy down, right? And we went from here to here. What is that? 16% dump before we went on this epic run. Now, where did that epic run end? Well, we're going to use this as the data point. So it went up 50%, 54% total was the pump that we got out of it. Now, if you settled in at the bottom, of course, that number is going to look a little bit better. It's going to look like 75%, but basically from the cross, it was 54%. Well, what happened the last time? Well, the last time that was the death cross. So let's go down here. Let's go find our last one. And oh, here it is again. It's like Bleeves already mapped this shit out. Huh. So here it is. Golden cross happened on February 18 of 2020. And guess what happened? Look, and this is pre-COVID, okay? This is what's going on, right? Immediately within a week, dump. And what was the dump percentage? And let's not consider, by the way, and I want everybody to understand, this right here is the shutting down of the world because of COVID. So let's not even take that into consideration. Let's just say that the dump that we got right here was enough, right? Well, what's the percentage on that one? Well, we got this down to here, 17%. So it went down 17% after we got the golden cross, and then it went bearish because this happened. And then all of a sudden, the buying started, right? So where did it end? Well, it ended, since you asked, all the way up here. So what was the final tally? Well, the final tally was from this spot to this spot, 620% is what it ended up going up. Now, that, of course, you look at that and you can see that that's from 2020 to 2020. So that's 2 years total, but 600% in 2 years total. Are you shitting me? I mean, that's a 6x. If you got 100 grand, you got $600,000, right? So, I mean, let's not, let's anyway. So then we got the death cross. No, we got the golden cross that happened over here again. Let's see what happened there, because that should probably be where it just went crazy and it went up, right? Nope. Look at this. As soon as we got the golden cross over here, what happened? We ended up dipping. What is the percentage that we ended up dipping? We got the golden cross and we dipped down here 11% within 3 days. So there we are. So what happened on the last one? There's the death cross and there's the golden cross. By the way, 27,000 or some shit like that. I've already done the math on it. But here it is right here. Again, we're not taking into account whatever happened on August 15, right? I don't know what happened on August 15. I didn't look it up. I just saw that it happened. But here we are. We got the golden cross. The golden cross happens, and then where do we go? We go down 8% immediately. So it just the start of the rally. We're at the start of whatever's happening. And look, every time it happens, here's by the way, there's the one crossover that didn't succeed, didn't create a good pump. It didn't continue. So it's possible that stuff doesn't happen. But here's the thing, that's on the tail end of this, right? So here it is right here again. And we're looking at this crossover. And this, by the way, February of 2012, February 9, 2012 is when we get the golden cross over here. What happens? February 2012, well, we go down 33% within days of the golden cross. And then what happens? Sideways trading, sideways trading, sideways trading, but we're over on the AMA. And then what ends up happening? Well, I'm glad you asked, people who asked. And if you didn't ask, shame on you, because God damn it, this is the one, right? Look at how high it went. All right. So how high did it go? Well, let's go over here and let's golden cross it up to here. It went up 22,300%. So what are we doing here, really? Right? Every single time this happens, this is what happens, right? So we've dumped every single time. What do we expect to happen again? We expect to have a dump happen immediately after, followed by a little bit of consolidation. And what we see is this continue to go along this way. This goes around like this, and then we might even get close again, and then it just starts to take off, right? And we know that that's where we are. How do we know that's where we are? Because the happening, it all happens at the same time. Like the Bitcoin bottom, by the way, the Bitcoin bottom over here was November 21 of 2022. Let's go see what the bottom was in November of 2018. Or was it November 2018? Was that the bottom? Is there any chance that the bottom, that the bottom was in November of 2018 as well? So let's go looking over here. We don't see it over here because it's not it. It's not 2018, right? So we're looking for 2018. Look at this. Oh, there's the bottom. And then this is what happened. We just took off because it's a 4-year happening, right? Well, let's go look at 2014. So it's sure to God, we look at 2014, then the bottom is not going to be in November, right? Oh, shit, look at this. The bottom, well, the bottom is not exactly in November, but it's very close to November. It's right there in January. So then it takes off again. So what about in 2010? So can we go down to 2010? Do we get a chance to look at 2010? 2010 is going to be too hard to check out. But every time in the 4-year cycle, it always happens the same way. So it's going to keep happening the same way. That golden cross, it doesn't mean anything today. It means that we've started that move. We've started the cycle. When we look back on it, we're going to be like, oh my God, here it was. And this was the start of the rally. Are we in a bull run? According to this, yes. Now, here's the problem. Problem is, on the weekly, you got a death cross. Now, what happens when you get a death cross on Bitcoin on the weekly? Well, the answer to that is, who the fuck knows? Because it's never happened before, right? And when it did happen, or it got real close to happening, let's go see what happens when it actually touched. And what happened down here when it was crossing over? Nothing. It went parabolic. So, what are we really talking about here, right? And I lost all my candles. That's awesome. What did I just do? Let's just refresh. Let's reload the site. There they are. All right. So what did we learn today? Don't take shit so serious, because we got the signal. This signal matters. Does it mean that we're going to pump straight up? No, of course it doesn't. It means that we're moving into this better sort of position, right? We're moving into this better sort of position now. Going to take some time, and we're going to see what happens. Also, the market is starting to do a little bit of pumping. The Dow Jones, by the way, kiss my ass. Instead of being down 100, it's now up 14 points. So, look, we don't know anything about this market. Like me, everybody else, we're all just guessing. We're all just making random guesses. Timsky, other than WAGMI, are you interested in any gaming tokens? Why, yes, I am, sir. It is not released yet, but I am partnered with Metapolitans, which is an MMO play to mint game that is coming out, and it'll be out probably in about 2 months. And it's super cool so far. Now, the name of the token is MAPS, MAPS. And here's the white paper. If you want to go, it's metapolitans.io, metapolitans.io. You can go there and check it out for yourself. Not everything is available yet. So, not all of it is there, but here's the map of the city. And then, of course, you can get this shit out of the way. You go into the city right here. This is where everything happens. All of this area out here is where you're going to be able to buy property. You're even going to be able to buy oceanfront property and lakefront property, stuff like that. Build your own world. So harvest, mine, do all kinds of different stuff so that you can enjoy your own little world. Islands, I don't know about them yet, but I know we haven't gotten that deep yet. I'm going to be in the alpha and in the beta just so we can kind of look at it. But if you're interested, it's Metapolitans. So you can go check that out. So yeah, I am into other ones other than WAGMI. And let's get we're gonna get out of, let's go down here just a little bit. Crow, as you can see, still on that little bit of a pump. Luna Classic on a little bit of a pump, but listen, it's already broken down below where it's been for a long period of time. So I don't know what that means. I haven't looked at it yet. I didn't do any content for Luna Classic today after that breakdown. I figured I would give it a day or two. Let's see how it kind of plays out. USTC, same thing. USTC is still in that channel, but it did have a breakdown again, but it was already breaking down, right? So it didn't really affect it in any way. Luna broke down hard. Luna had pumped all the way up to about $2.50, back down to $1.79. I mean, to be fair, great buy opportunity. And as you go down this list, you can see here, I mean, imagine getting Mina down here just a little while ago. Oh, where is, by the way, since we're on this subject, let's go to where did Hex go? Did Hex dump super hard or not? Hex stayed at 4.5 cents. Hex barely dumped from 5 to 4.2. So it's already starting to recover. It's kind of crazy right there, right? Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, Hex has been having just a good time of it. So let's go over the market. Let's just run down based on percentages. NGN is back up almost to an all-time high, by the way. Remember that all-time high was 69, dude. So, is it at the all-time high yet? No, but it's about to get there. Kabosu is having a nice little run to recover from their little dump. Again, they went outside of that little comfort zone. But where did they bounce? They bounced off of 14, just like I said they would always bounce off of. So here we are. Kabosu is bouncing, and they're at 14. From there is, I mean, what's the percentage on that, by the way? From our line 14 all the way up to where it is now is a 42% increase. So if you hit Kabosu on that 14 line, you got to be feeling pretty good about that. Decanect up 5% to 14.49. Again, recovering. BRL. Oh, we had another Jeet. Yeah, we had another Jeet that came out. It was up to $1.73, and then it's down to $1.65. That's what happens every time it pumps up. So, and that's okay. This is still early, right? Lillian 56.87, trading dead even. Satama at 28.41, had that little bit of recovery after the dip last night. Not enough to really make it worthwhile, but still good recovery. They've been holding up pretty well for that period of time. WAGMI down 4%. We just had the thing on Tuesday. I wasn't able to make it because I was working, so didn't get a chance to do what I wanted to do, which was come in there and play that game for a little while. Beat the hell out of Scott Herman at that game. He gets to play it all the time. Like he's a fanatic about it, so he gets to play it a lot more than I do. So 36.90 for MMAI. Terra 29.47. Terra obviously has a little bit of work to do still. We still have this downward sort of pressure here that came. It happened when the market went down, and it takes a lot, by the way, because it's a because it's a 3 million market cap, right? So when you start going through here, what you're not seeing, you saw these before. This was the payroll number, and not only did you see that as a payroll number, but then you saw it later on. Milton put back 10.6 ETH back into the project. So not only did he only need apparently 14 ETH in order to make the payroll this month, which is far less than the 140 that had been coming out before. But now that would mean to me that they might be self-sufficient at this point on this blockchain, on this token, and that we can start actually moving. And remember, guys, you're making an investment and they need your money from the investment. So I know a lot of people don't like it because they don't understand like investing completely, especially when it comes to crypto, because it's all just kind of new. But now that seems to be done, we can consolidate right here. We can put ourselves right here, do a little consolidation, and then that allows the opportunity to have some confidence in investment. The investors will get a little bit more happy about it, and they'll start adding back to their bags, and new investors will start coming back in. So I look, I'm not happy with where the price is, but I'm super happy with where we are right now as a result of what's been happening, in that it now has an opportunity to start moving forward, because I think, at least for now, maybe we've covered what we needed to cover. So I think a lot of people are going to need at least one more month to see whether or not there's any more need for funds. And then after that, then I think that you'll start to see a lot of price action on Terra. And I don't know what the trading is like on the Terrarium exchange, but on February 14, by the way, February 14, that's when the US chain is going to be open as well. So you'll be able to trade. You're accepting deposits on February 14 for Terrarium for the US. So RBIF 1725, it's moving back in a positive direction. After that little dump, very quickly went to 16. Now it's up to 17. Cult did not hold its position. Cato did not hold its position. SHIB is kind of idling sideways at this point. Hulk, feeling the pressure, is caving just a little bit more. Bone is down 13.5%, not quite in a buy zone, but getting very close to the buy zone right now. You can see right here, the green line down here, that was one of my first, maybe it's worth getting into at $1.31, because it does pump up to 220 when you get good information. We're 4 days out from Valentine's Day, or maybe we get a little bit more, but I don't think so. Volt at 1486. As soon as we got to 2000, by the way, we got to 2000 and people started dumping right away. Then people started crying about bridge liquidity versus other liquidity. Then I started doing the math on it, and they are idiots. Okay. If you said, well, it's bridge liquidity, it's not real liquidity. If you went down that rabbit hole, man, there is something broke in your brain, because I just did the math on the market cap versus the total market cap, and what is included in tokens versus what's not included in tokens, versus what the market cap is based on the volume of tokens, based on the value where it should be. And guess what? It all checks out. So 44 trillion tokens disappear. Man, that's on you if you can't do math. If you got some kind of conspiracy, you deserve everything you didn't get. You know what I mean? BCB down 18, not able to sustain. BCB is not sustaining right now. It does continue to get these nice pumps, but it did not sustain the last couple of times, and it has broken out of this lower support. Now, a lot of that was part of, and by the way, we were doing this based on what we were seeing at that time, and not based on this flow down here for adding new holders. So, my analysis on this was only working as far as it was working, based on that positive sentiment and that pump and where it was actually breaking down. But when it broke down, now it's breaking underneath, and we'll see how it kind of trends right here. But it looks like we've had enough data to say that it's pumped outside of the chart, and it's probably consolidating at a lower level. And as you can see down here, like when you probably move this, it'll probably make a lot more sense on the chart, because you'll start to see that it's hitting the bottoms over here instead of, this chart is too long. But if we start to look at it that way, then, it probably makes more sense. We're just widening the channel, but the channel's going upwards. So at some point it's going to probably break down a little bit further. So, but there's also the opportunity for one more big final pump over here to go from 1,000 up to 2,600. I mean, just market conditions are what's going to matter. So, and then we have Floki down here, and Floki is just capitulating at this point, down tremendously from that super pump. Now, still not down where it was before. So we can take, we can take heart that it seems to be consolidated, but it's also pointing directly down. I get, I'm not excited about where the price action is on Floki. It's really headed straight back down. So, we'll see how it plays out. But I mean, this is just an example. People find a project, they pump it, and then they dump it. And here we go again. So that's where it is. So anyway, that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. That's my time. I got to get to work. Tectonic, do you have an opinion? I don't have an opinion. I do have it on my radar of stuff to go over because I'm looking at price going up. I'm looking at, what do you call it? Crypto.com and Crow because of that partnership. So it's in my folder of Crow to check out the Tectonic. But here's what I think. My opinion so far is a positive opinion. I'm not sure about the yield on it or anything like that yet because I'm nervous about anything that has high yield right now, especially when the SEC is out there looking for high yields and apparently attacking anything with a good high yield on it. So I just get that bad feeling about it. So, but anyway, this is not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I am always right. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you learned something today. I hope you understand this crypto market. This crypto market, that Bitcoin thing that I'm showing you right now, we tank every time we golden cross, and then it goes crazy within 2 months, every single time. So what's going to happen within about 2 months? We're going to go absolutely crazy. Sometimes 2 to 3 weeks, you just never know. Bitcoin go crazy, dog. Anyway, it's not financial advice. My name is Bleeves. I am always right, and we will talk to you again soon.
I'm looking for the good life, good life. Sitting on top of the world.